In this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple AI writing exercises that you can do right now. If you've been curious about AI writing but you feel overwhelmed, this video is specifically for you. No fancy techniques, just simple actionable projects that you can get immediate results from. I will link everything in the video description, and with that, let's get started. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start out by showing you a blog post prompt, and I'm going to be using Claude and DeepSeek as an example just to show you what both of these would do with this certain type of prompt. Then I'm going to do a prompt with social media posts. It's going to include several different social media platforms and to create content for. And then lastly, I'm going to show you what Claude and DeepSeek would do with a email newsletter prompt. But what I will do with this email newsletter is I'm going to take the blog post and repurpose it as an email newsletter, and also the same thing with the social media posts. I will copy it and paste it in there to include, and I will put it in the prompt to it, basically to repurpose it into social media posts and also into an email newsletter. All right, here I am on Claude, and I'm going to go ahead and paste in this prompt here. By the way, I'm going to link these 3 different prompts in the description of the video, so you will have access to them and you can try them out on whatever niche that you would like. I'm going to do mine on the baking niche just as an example to see what Claude and what DeepSeek will come up with. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste in this here and hit go, and I will come back with the results to show you what Claude actually comes up with. So this is the result from Claude. As you can see in the prompt, I actually put in to create a blog post with 1,000 to 1,500 words, use a 9th grade reading level, and include an intro, 3 main sections, and a conclusion. I gave it a role, I set the tone here, and I gave it some responsibilities. So this is what it comes up with. It's talking about sourdough bread. This is about the baking niche, so it's going to come up with something to do with baking. This can be used for any niche, obviously. Just tweak it to whatever you'd like. So right here, it's going to give you all of the content, and this is the conclusion right here. So what you would do is you could take this to create more content, like I was going to show you next about, this would be the social media prompt, and then down here would be the email newsletter. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and go into DeepSeek and also paste in this same prompt to see the results that it gives. So this is DeepSeek. I'm going to go ahead and paste in this same prompt, and I will hit the go button here. It's not technically called the go button, but you get the picture. And I will be back to show you what the results are of this prompt with DeepSeek. So this is what DeepSeek actually came up with. It talked about cookies instead. So it's showing you how to bake cookies with this answer. So as you can see, this answer is a little different than Claude's. Again, this can be used with any type of niche, any of the different tools that are out there like Gemini, ChatGPT, you know, you name it basically. Just pick one and try it out, and you'll get to see the different answers that it gives you. So you can see it followed the instructions pretty good. It gave me a conclusion here, and it also included a call to action. And with this one here, I actually did not see a call to action anywhere. So I'm not sure why, but I even put it in here, incorporate effective calls to action. And for whatever reason, this one, I'm reading this conclusion here. It says, whether you're drawn to sourdough for its health benefits, distinct flavor, or the satisfaction, I don't see anything about a call to action. So anyway, at least you can see the difference between the 2 models with this type of prompt. So then you would take this prompt and then you would copy it, upload it into another type of prompt and include it, and basically tell the new prompt to include this information. So I will show you back on Claude with the next prompt exercise, and you'll see the outcome of that. When you include the blog post, it basically is going to repurpose this into something else. All right, so what I did here was I grabbed this blog post that I showed you earlier originally from Claude, started a new chat, pasted it, and it shows up down here. So then what I'll do is I'm going to grab this social media content prompt, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'm going to paste it into here. I'm going to make it look a little bit better here. Let me just hit a space. So this one is create 5 social media posts from the following blog post. Insert blog post content here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this and delete this. I will also delete it in the actual prompt that I'm going to link. So it'll say create 5 social media posts from the following blog post. I will just put from the uploaded blog post. Each post should be optimized for the specific platform, including ideal post link, titles, and content. Here are the details. So it's got one for Facebook, one for Instagram, one for X. The next one is going to be LinkedIn, and then another for Pinterest. So I'm going to go ahead and send this one on, and I will be back to show you the results. This is the response that Claude gave. At the bottom of the instructions, I actually put create 5 posts for each platform based on these guidelines. So as you can see here, it gave 5 different posts for Facebook, 5 for Instagram. It also gave 5 for X and 5 for Pinterest as well. So basically what it also did was it put in these hashtags, and Claude can't include pictures, so you would have to either create the pictures on your own separately for any of these posts, or you could paste in this prompt into one of the models that actually includes pictures. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the same thing on DeepSeek, and I'm going to see what the result is based on the prompt. And also I'm going to again copy this original blog post and put it into a text file, and then I will upload that to DeepSeek and paste in the prompt and see what it actually gives me. So here I am at DeepSeek. This is the text file that I just mentioned. I pasted the blog post and I put it into a text file, uploaded it here, and I'm going to go ahead and paste in the same prompt that I just used on Claude, and I will go ahead and send this one off, and I will be back to show you the results that DeepSeek gives. So here is the results from DeepSeek. As you can see, what it did was it separated each post. It gave me a Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, and Pinterest post that included little emojis. So the difference you'll see here is that for whatever reason, it didn't actually follow the instructions. It didn't create 5 for each. However, you can just do like a follow-up prompt if you wanted to say, please create 4 more posts for each platform, so it's up to you, however you want to do this, and it could work for any niche. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now go to Claude, and I will show you what this third prompt is. This is going to repurpose that original blog post into an email newsletter. So I will be back shortly at Claude to show you what that is. Here I'm again at Claude. I posted the blog post in here. I'm going to go ahead and paste the prompt in. And as you can see, I gave it a role, act as a newsletter copywriter, give it a task. And this is the instructions here. So I'm going to go ahead and send this off, and I will be back to show you the results. All right, this is the result that Claude gave. I would say is a pretty good starting point for a newsletter template. And this went with the sourdough, whole sourdough thing here, because this was what was in the original blog post. So it basically repurposed it into a newsletter. And of course, you can expand on this, and then you can also inject your own experiences you might have, your own voice to make this more unique. But as you can see right here, it also gives a conclusion, and even a call to action. Ready to join the sourdough revolution? Start your starter this weekend. Then share your first loaf photos with our community using, and then it gives you the hashtag. So this will be a good starting point for a newsletter for someone that's into the baking niche, as an example. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing in DeepSeek, and then I will show you the results. So I will be back in a second. Here I am at DeepSeek. Go ahead and paste in the prompt. As you can see, this is the sample blog post text again that I'm putting in. So I'm curious to see what DeepSeek will give me as an answer. And I will be back to show you the results. So here's the result that DeepSeek gave. It actually, broke it up again into sections. So it gives you, just like it says here, it's asking for sentences to explain the point, sentences, introduction without greetings, and then at the end a call to action. So here's the intro, and it also includes emojis like I showed you in the last prompt, and another emoji at the end of bread. It's got a call to action, a conclusion, and it actually gives tips. So you can see right here a tip here and another pro tip right there. So as you can see, DeepSeek is a little bit different from Claude in its responses. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come back and I'm going to use this prompt here, and I'm going to go into Mistral AI and I'm going to show you what it can do, just as an example, because I'm curious with what the answer will be. So I will be back in a second. All right, I am back and I have uploaded this sample blog post as a text file. And here is the same prompt that you saw earlier about creating the 5 social media posts. I'm going to go ahead and delete this section again, and I will put in uploaded blog post to give it a little bit clearer instructions. We'll go ahead and send this one off, and I'm curious to see the answer. So here's the answer from Mistral AI. You can see it's a lot quicker than all the other models. It only took 1.3 seconds. It included emojis also, or maybe these are called icons, I guess. So it gave one each, and same thing with this one. I included this here, create 5 posts for each platform. So the only I almost said person, the only model that actually followed these instructions was Claude. All of the other models did not for some reason. However, these are pretty good starting points. It gives you Instagram, X, it gives you the, these actual hashtags, and then, it tells you right here, you would link the blog post in it. So again, this is a pretty good starting point, I would say. If you want to try stuff like this out, it'll work with pretty much any model, any niche. And you can just see, you could test out different types of also prompts. You could tweak these prompts, as needed, basically. So that was the answer for this one with Mistral AI. All right, that's going to wrap this one up. You can try these exercises with any of the LLMs out there. Just change the niche in the prompt, and you can test them out on different LLMs just to see what you come up with. I'm going to go ahead and link the prompts down in the description. And with that, I will see you in the next one.